Oh, I was muted. Where's our screen? Where's our background? Okay, there we go.
Ah,
All right, everybody. Welcome to the episode of Tipsy Gossip. I am Ras Mixx. I'm here with my good friends, Marcy Diamond, the legend, and Kinshok, also a legend in her own right. Leave it at that. So, how are you two doing tonight,
super good.
Kinshok?
Doing good, doing good.
I know it's past, but happy Mother's Day to both of you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for all you do. And how have you been since the last time we met up?
All
Pretty good.
right.
Just all right. All right. I want to say something real quick. This is not on the schedule, but I just want to say one of my favorite podcasts is no longer going to be a podcast. Pre-game podcast is ending their run. It's kind of frustrating because it was like one of the top podcasts there is, but I guess they just don't have the energy to do it no more for free. I guess, and tired of
Wow.
putting, it sucks. I mean, they're one of my favorites. I wish them all the luck. First, it was a Drunken Nights podcast that left. Now it's pregame podcast. Officially, Street podcast has been gone. A lot of smaller podcasts are leaving because the podcast bubble has bust, and Spotify ruined podcasts. If you ask me,
How?
they gave money to Joe Budden. They gave money to Joe Rogan. Make it seem like if you go to Spotify, you're going to get paid also, and they paid people who didn't deserve it. Giving them podcast deals to people who didn't deserve it, who didn't put no effort into it. And and they'd have put just give a little something to the smaller podcasts just to make them feel appreciated. They would have got a lot more out of it, And now podcasts, the bubbles bust and only a few people getting paid off it. Everybody else is doing it for the fun of it. I have no problem with that, but it's like,
Yeah.
it was a really good podcast out there that no longer are out there anymore. And
Wow.
even we took a couple breaks, and you know what I'm saying. So we know also it's like,
Yep.
yeah, Shock. What do you feel about that podcast bubble burst?
I kind of feel bad because there are people that wait each week or whatever to see however that podcast broadcast however often, and they're looking forward to it, and sometimes that's like the highlight of somebody's week, and if
Yeah.
that's gone, that person now has nothing to fill that spot.
Yeah, but
It's kind of sad.
it is sad. But you gotta understand, it's a lot of time and energy that goes into doing these every week.
I understand that.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, time, energy, and money. And
But I
sometimes
think if the podcaster makes an announcement that this is why we will no longer be doing it, it helps their audience to transition away. And I think that's fair. If they say we can no longer do this because we're putting our time and energy, sweat, soul, and tears into this and getting nothing out of it. So on this date, it'll be our last podcast. I think that's fair.
Well, my thing is this: Spotify was giving these celebrities millions of dollars to do a podcast, and they was barely doing it. They would do like one podcast a month, if that. And then like you had a smaller podcast going strong every week. If they just would have kicked them, because they was doing decent numbers, they just would have like just gave them a little bit to make them seem like, yeah, you're appreciated for putting your podcast on this platform. The SoundCloud doesn't pay podcasts. I don't know if Spotify probably doesn't. I mean, how many millions of streams you gotta get notified on Spotify?
Well,
YouTube. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Does Joe Budden still do it?
He still does it, but he mostly just focuses on Patreon and YouTube. That's where he gets the majority of his money from.
Oh wow.
And that's
Why
what
they stopped paying him? Spotify stopped paying him?
yeah, he didn't want to do the contract with them anymore. Because he wanted full ownership of his own podcast, and it's understood, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. It just really kicks something down to the smaller podcasts. If they would have offered, I'm pretty sure if Spotify's like, look, you're a good podcast, we're going to give you guys $5,000 for the year or something. Just something to say like we appreciate you. A lot of these podcasts that keep going.
Yep.
You don't gotta give them, millions, but just give them if you hit this mark on your podcast, we'll pay you this amount, like YouTube does. Even though it's ridiculous, 4,000 hours, that's ridiculous, but it's still something. It could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to talk about that real quick because it's kind of selfish on my part to keep wanting to hear them, but I understand it completely. It was 4 of them. They was all, 3 of them are married with kids. So, you got the wife to deal with, stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure, my girl's like, I'm tired of you doing this every week. That could be time for us. It's going to be a tough decision to make,
Yeah.
Not that you actually do that, but I'm just saying, if she was, you got to keep home happy.
True. You do.
Hate to start on the slow mark. I see everybody filling up. Make sure you comment. Let us know where you watch it from. You watch it on Twitter or YouTube. Make sure you comment. Let us know. Give us those likes. Tap that screen. Get those likes going.
I mean, how much time did it really take away doing a podcast? How long did the sports one you're talking about? Were they on every night?
No, they did it one time a week, but they shows like almost 3 hours sometimes.
I see.
And they all did it together in the same space. So they had to travel. Everybody had to go to somebody's house, meet up,
Right.
talk it over, then start the show.
I could see that being difficult to arrange with no money constantly.
After a while, I was like, yo, we doing this every week. What do we have to show for it? We got the fans, but I mean, everybody try to do the Patreon. But I mean, unless you got a big fan base of Patreons, but you're gonna get like 2 or 3 people paying you $5 a month. Whoa.
That's what I don't understand. Why Joe Budden would not want a contract when, if you're talking about they paid him millions, he's not going to make millions off Patreon. I mean, who's going to really sit in there and give him thousands in Patreon?
He's making good money off Patreon. He has different levels, like $5, $25 level. So,
and I think you sign up for Patreon and sometimes forget you've signed up for Patreon, because I got a notification about a Patreon that I signed up for, and I had totally forgotten. And it's only $5, but it's been $5 a month for the last 3 years. So they're getting money. So I mean, if you get like just 3 of me that sign up, that's $15 a month every month for 3 years that somebody just forgot they were giving you.
I mean, it starts to add up.
That's right.
So I mean, you might not be rolling in it, but it could be rolling in. Like when you start out with the Patreon, a lot of people sign up. Let's say half of them forget they sign up. That's a lot of money coming in.
And if you're giving people a Patreon, they're gonna want a lot. They're not gonna do 1 episode a week. We need 2 or 3. We need bonus episodes. We need extra content. We need skits. We need all that. So I mean,
how many times a week does Joe Budden go?
Joe Budden goes 2 times that he gives for free. I think he does like 2 more Patreon episodes. So
for an hour each or more?
Probably more than an hour. So he's putting out a lot of content. If you're paying for it, you're getting it.
Wow. And he's on YouTube?
Yep, he's on YouTube.
No shit, I have to look him up again. I haven't seen that shit in forever.
So I don't know, to all aspiring podcasters out there, just know you're gonna be working for free unless you go viral on YouTube and you get to meet the requirements. You might get some money there, but then you got to watch what you say every episode. Certain words triggered and you get nothing for the episode. You have to go in and edit that one word out. Rhymes with grape, rhymes with I don't want to say it, but
unalive yourself. The other way to say it.
I hate really. I mean, we're all adults. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's no kids watching us. Why we got to censor ourselves so bad?
Yep.
And if a kid ends up on our podcast, that's not our fault. That's the parents' fault.
Right.
You're not in YouTube Kids section.
But I think what happens, and this came up today in an episode of Law and Order I was watching. Shut up! Don't judge me.
I'm not going to judge you for that.
this guy was real fanatical about why are there so many laws and why are there so many rules and blah. It's because you guys keep bringing things up and you guys won't oversee. Like if I know I'm watching something that I would call not something for work, if I'm watching something not something for work at home, my kids should be nowhere where they can hear the naughty words.
Right.
But you make us adjust our life because you let your kid overhear the naughty word.
Yep.
Now, there's another rule in my life that I did nothing to provoke, but
Appreciate.
then they wanted the same group of people come back. Why is the government so in my life? Because you kept complaining.
Mm-hmm.
It was your complaint that got me censored. I sure didn't call up YouTube and say, can I change this word for that one? It was you because
Yep.
you didn't do the right thing as a parent and you let your child overhear something they shouldn't have.
We're not heavily censored on Twitter though. Oh, I'm sorry, X. We can say what we want on X now. We should have
That's
a week. We should have a 1 week just X only wild show saying whatever the hell we feel like it. I'm pretty sure Elon will love it. I'm pretty sure Elon will love it. Talk about free speech episode, and we just go all in,
and cuss our asses off.
cussing within the first minute.
Yep.
Oh,
Saying whatever cuss.
that's in my wheelhouse. I can handle the cuss.
Mm-mm-mm. So here's the question I have. The question of the week. You ready? Is Terrence Howard the real Tony Stark? Is he the real Iron Man? Is he the super genius inventor slash everything? Is he just a genius? What do you think? After watching the clips, do you think he really knows what he's talking about? Because I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell if he's lying or if he's telling the truth. I don't know. So what do you guys think?
I think he really is interested in like quantum physics. That's what it sounds like.
Kinshok?
I think he's a very highly intelligent man who sees things a little bit differently than everybody else. Because I liked his theory about how the periodic table should be laid out. I did like his theory on that.
Okay.
But some of the other stuff, I'm just like, no.
I mean, are you saying that because you know what he's talking about, or are you just not feeling it? Because the periodic table sounds legit. Because has everybody debunked him and said that doesn't work at all? Or
I've never even heard of that shit till you showed me the video.
yeah, he went on Joe Rogan. He had a show. He did an interview. It was 3 hours of him talking just like that.
But that was another problem I had. I didn't like the fact that he was talking to Joe Rogan, but I put that aside and listened to what he had to say.
Well, nobody else is going to give him the opportunity to talk like that, though. That's the thing about it.
There may be a reason why, because he is equating our elements to tones, vibrations. And I don't like that theory at all.
Okay, so you have some, because I haven't studied the periodic table since high school, so I don't remember none of it, honestly. So you know about it, and
how did that miss me? Maybe because I was in remedial math every fucking year. Probably why.
And he does put math into it, but you being in remedial math has nothing to do with anything. But I don't like the fact that he's equating our elements to vibrations or tones. But I do like the fact that he's calling it a spiral.
Okay.
That one builds upon the other. I do agree with that. I don't like his math, how he got to it, but I do agree with that. But I don't like the the fact that he's equating these to tones, and that's what he says. He says the tones that they give off, and he's making it sound like you can hear helium or you can hear hydrogen, and that's where I got to step off that train.
I don't know. Maybe you have to watch the whole show to see to fully break down what he's talking about. Because
Well, I watched as much of the clip as I could.
it was like blah 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 blah, smart talk, smart talk. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
It
not
was
dumb,
so
but at the same time, I don't have the education level to challenge what he said at all. You know, if he would have said something I recognize, oh, that's bullshit. You know, but nah, because he showed wherever he said he backed it up. Like he said with the patent that he had for virtual reality, he backed it up and showed it that people have been citing his work.
wow.
But I questioned, what did he patent? Did he patent the idea of VR, or did he patent a specific VR build?
He patented a specific build, whereas where you're going to a virtual reality room and it's all
Mhm.
around you, that type of thing. That's what he patented.
That's
Now,
why others are allowed to use his idea, because he didn't patent his idea. He patented a particular machine. That's what I couldn't figure out. I couldn't get that from what he was saying. Patents have to be very specific. If you want to patent, like, your uh oh shit, I can't think of the word. Your When you think of an idea, let's put it that way. I
your
can't think of
theory
what.
or
Huh?
your theory,
No, not your theory.
invention.
No, it's the technology. He would have had to patent the technology. He would have had to patent the coding. He would have had to patent the chamber that you're in. He would have had to patent. What he patented was a specific machine and said this machine does this, and he patented it. And that's why everybody else was able to piggyback off of his idea, because he didn't patent the coding itself. I don't know if you remember back in the 80s, probably not, but source code was king. People would kill for it, and I mean that literally.
Okay, 1 second, Marcy has to step out. Okay, let us know when you're back. I'll see when you're back. Um, I don't know. So, are they able just to cite his patent and not give him anything back?
No, yes, what they're able to do is they're able to did to
Um,
accomplish said machine.
so if I make a
Because
patent, people can just
that's the
use
source
cite it
code.
and then not give me anything for it.
Exactly. Because he didn't patent it. He didn't say I own this.
But isn't that the? I don't know. I'm confused. I gotta look it up
It's
because
implied. You would think it would be polite to do that, but did you see the companies that were named?
yeah, Microsoft, IBM, Amazon.
Sony. Yeah, they don't care.
So is he a
He
genius?
patented the wrong thing.
Because
He's
I'm sorry.
smart. He's very smart, and he may have beat them to the punch. He patented the wrong thing.
Huh.
I'm gonna look more into it because
Intellectual property. That's
intellectual property. Okay.
that's what he didn't patent. His intellectual property. Thank you, because I was really going nuts trying to figure that out.
Let us know in the comments. Do you think Terrence Howard is a genius? Is he Tony Stark? Um, is he Black Panther to come out pretty? Is he Black Panther? What other genius is there?
What
But that
he
is,
did is he patented an Xbox instead of patenting the source code for the Xbox that makes it run.
okay, now I get it. But they're still citing it. I mean, okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He didn't. He didn't go to somebody and say, "I own this." He patented the Xbox, thinking, "Okay, it's inside the Xbox. It's got to be covered." It's not. He didn't patent what makes the Xbox run.
So he
And
didn't. So he patented the virtual reality thought idea, but he didn't patent how to make it work.
no, he well, sort of. He patented a machine. Like, do you remember what is it called? The one where you stood up in it and it was the virtual machine. It was like the very first one,
Mm-hmm.
probably based on his theory.
Yeah.
Let's just say he patented that machine. He didn't patent what makes that machine run. That's where his mistake was. And he made a big one because a lot of people are making a lot of money off of him now, or off of his idea right now.
Wow.
But well, also was he? I don't think he's the only one that had that idea of a virtual reality. Maybe he's probably the first ones to get a patent on a certain way of doing it, but it's been talked about since forever. 'Cause you remember the movie Lawnmower Man? What was that, like 88, 89?
Yep.
So that was all about that.
Yes,
Which
it was.
don't watch it because it looks terrible now.
It
That-
I
looked
never heard of
terrible
it.
then.
you never
And I
seen it,
was there.
Marcy?
I saw it. It was one of my favorite movies.
After the show, go on YouTube and watch the trailer for Lawnmower Man. It
Okay.
it looks terrible.
It does. It
It
looks
looks
absolutely horrible. It's
the worst.
pixelated. Oh my god.
Wow.
It's bad. It was
But
bad
back
when it came
then,
out.
oh really? I was gonna say back then, did everybody think it was great?
A lot
No,
of people thought it was. A lot of people saying this is high technology stuff right here.
no. They said it was a good movie because of it had the same effect on me as Ready Player One.
Okay.
Like, this could be the future, but let's hope it looks better than this. It because okay, we could take that even further back to the Demon Seed that came out in like 1974,
Way before my time.
and that's like a computer that decided it wanted a baby because it was AI.
Or that's just like Matthew Broderick in War Games. The AI he was playing against and it was actually launching
Yeah,
real
it was
nukes.
actually yeah. And I've watched way too many.
We movie nerds. I'm sorry. Movie nerds.
Wish I heard about that movie and watched it. I never heard of it.
Yeah, just watch the trailer. Don't watch the movies.
Okay.
A lot of the movies that we grew up on don't hold up, and it's very disappointing. Because I
No.
recently watched The Last Dragon. I was like, oh my god, this movie is trash.
Their graphics don't hold up. Their theories do, because every time Mortal Kombat comes on, every time there's a Mortal Kombat marathon, I'm right there, and those movies are trash when it comes to graphics. But they follow the storyline perfectly.
Even part 2, Annihilation, that was the worst of the worst. I was so disappointed.
Yeah, well, some of them are
Okay,
losing her.
so final
Get her back.
thoughts. So what are y'all final thoughts on? What are your final thoughts on Terrence Howard?
I think he's smart.
You don't just smart, not a genius or miss
I would give him high IQ.
high IQ. Definitely not scamming.
I don't think so. He didn't sound like he was asking for anything in this.
Well, I don't think he's asking anything, but if you have a serious face and make it sound like you know what you're talking about, you can say anything. Because I can fool you and think because rocket ships, it takes a certain amount of lift times acceleration to get off the ground. So it has to push off against gravity. See, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking shit. People probably believe what I'm saying. See,
did you ever hear about the guy who went in front of? Somehow he got in. He had let everyone believe he was this acclaimed like math, whiz, and he stood at this math convention and spoke in front of all these people and said there was this new math theory or whatever he'd come up with, and how it worked out, and everybody just believed him because he knew math, but it wasn't there was not this new thing, and he was trying to say that there was a new math that he found or created, and they were all like, oh wow, yeah, and everybody was just like, he's a genius, but he just made it all up.
See, that's what I'll be saying. If you sound like you know what you're talking about, you can convince people of anything.
Yep.
And that's how a lot of conspiracy theorists work, because they know a little bit, and people know the general proposition don't know shit about it, so they just make up it as they go. They start with a little truth, and then they just go left and add their own spin to it and just make it all up. And that's how a lot of conspiracy theories are. And I just laugh at them because I watch a lot of conspiracies about Freemasons because I am one, so I watch them just to laugh because they start with fraternity. Freemasons is a fraternity for men. Okay, you're right. It has 3 degrees. Okay, you're right. Then they go left, and in order to get in, you have to sacrifice your family member. Then I'm like, okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how they do the spin. That's how they swerve it. So we have Terrence Howard being a super genius superhero. So the opposite of that is a super villain. And who would that be? Diddy.
Uh-oh.
Kinshok, did you see the video of Diddy assaulting Cassie in the hallway?
I did.
It's always crazy when you hear about stuff, but when you actually see it, it always takes you to another level.
How did he keep the towel on?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I know how to. If you put a towel on and you wrap it around you and you twist it up, it's going to stay on. I learned that.
You severely attack somebody like that?
Listen, I've run around the house with just a towel on and it goes nowhere. If you do it just right,
it goes
nowhere.
Sliding down the hallway. I'm
gonna show Ashley later, and she's gonna come back and report to y'all that the towel does not move if you tie it on just right.
All right.
I don't know. It was. I was like, this can't be real. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I was holding out hope for Diddy that everybody just had it all wrong. And then I hear there's cameras, that he had cameras in every single room of those freak off parties, so that should anything happen one day, he could verify who was there at his parties.
Do you know anybody? Well, I'm not going to ask you that. You probably do know somebody who's been to a freak off party.
I really don't. I am not that anyone's ever told me, because maybe they're not supposed to tell you.
I think one of your friends might have went. We'll talk about it later. But considering how, I don't want to say too much. The way the videos you showed me and how she was acting tells me that she might have been to a freak off party and been
Probably.
like past that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, but exactly. We're not gonna say names, but I could just see her there because she's at the Diddy party. I mean, I don't know. But the video, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more videos that's gonna come out of him doing stuff like that because you always heard rumors of him being a terrible person behind the scenes, and he plays it off because he's always dancing and smiling. Hey, I'm just a fun guy. I'm just Diddy. I'm harmless. But he's really a killer. It's always been rumored that it was him that was doing the shooting and blamed Shine for it. And Shine went to jail and got deported and lost his whole career. Yeah. And Diddy's went scot-free. Only thing that happens was he lost J-Lo.
She walked from him, and I just couldn't believe that. So... And then she said in an interview that she's been roughed up in a relationship before, but she didn't say by who.
Well, that could be why she left.
It could be part of the reason she left.
Could be.
Okay, does this relate at all to that whole women with a man or a bear in the woods thing?
I don't know how that started, but people were asking. First, they would ask a man, who would you trust in the woods with your daughter, a bear or a man?
Shit.
And I was like, when I first heard that, I was like, God damn it, who would I trust?
A man or a bear? I would trust the bear.
Exactly.
That's sad.
Exactly.
That's sad. Is that
I think that's the whole point of the exercise. Is that
right?
it's sad.
And the fact that the fact I had to think about it myself, like which one would I trust in the woods with my daughter?
Right.
I would try to kill both of them, but at the same time, it's like
Yep.
at least the bear would make it quick and be over with. You know what I'm saying? Just kill him, but the man,
Or bear may run away. Bears are not. They don't attack unless they're like hungry or hurt.
Right.
They smell you and they go, okay, let's get out of here, because they're scared of you too.
True.
That's what makes the choice easy. I put you in the woods with a bear or a man, and both my daughter and the bear runs from the man. That lets you know who's the most dangerous.
I don't know. It's a weird
Yeah,
situation.
I don't understand that. What makes? But did this person go back to him?
I don't know if that was the final straw when they broke up. I'm not sure what year that video is from. I had to check and see. But they've been broken up for a while. So that might have been the final straw that led to it. But I'm pretty sure that the way that from that video, you could tell that wasn't the first time that he's done something like that. Because it was just
While
completely.
I don't understand it, I can't. I can no longer. I freeze in those situations, especially if the woman asks for help. Because I've been in situations where the woman asked for help. I called the police. I sat with them, and when the police got there, they attacked the police and got mad at me.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me
I
too.
was like, "You asked me to help you. What did you think I was going to do? Call a wizard?"
Yeah.
So, so now I don't want anything to do with it. I keep an
Yep.
eye out, but
I had a girl come down from upstairs. I heard screaming, and it sounded like he was banging her head against the wall, and she was screaming, "Stop it! Stop it!" And then I called the police, and she comes charging down there after they leave. "Did you call the police?" I said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? You were screaming, 'Stop it!' and it sounded like you were getting murdered." And she was mad at me, and I was like, "Wow."
See, and that's why a lot of men say they don't get involved, but then they get called names like, "Oh, you're not going to help that woman?" Like, I'm not getting involved
I don't
because
know that woman.
a lot of times you get involved and you get attacked by both of them. My
Yep.
mom told me that. Don't get involved because you're gonna try to pull them off and then she's gonna jump on your back. And then you be fighting both of them.
Exactly.
And then the police come and what they gonna say? It was him. It was him acting crazy.
Two
Now,
people against one.
it's nuts. It's like, do you get him? Like when I first moved to Madison, every apartment I got by myself, there was like always a domestic abuse going around somewhere in the building. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And like you hear it, and then like the next day they be holding hands, walking out the door and stuff. I'm like, what is going on?
But the saddest part is when you agree with the guy up until the point he hits her. Because, like, he came home. They lived directly across the hall from me. He came home. He greeted his baby. And I could hear all this because I'm standing out in the hallway waiting for my cab. And he greets his baby, gives the baby something to eat, and he turns on his Xbox, PlayStation, whatever console he had. She gets pissed. "You're going to stay out all night, blah, blah, blah." And she picked up his controller and threw it. And at that point, I kind of lost my mind a little bit because I'd been like, "Oh, I'd have hit you too." But
them shit's expensive.
But you can't think like that. And he was like, "Look, just leave me alone. I got my other controller. I just want to play my game." And she did something to the console itself. And next thing I know, I heard her hit a wall. And I went outside.
You didn't run down and try to save her? And like, no, sister,
No,
get up.
I was right across the hall. I was standing out in the hallway. This all took like 20 seconds because I was locking up my door so I could go to work. By the time I got downstairs to sit down and wait for my cab, the police were already on their way upstairs. In the back of my mind, I was like, I know I shouldn't say this, but I'd beat your ass.
Oh yeah, because you're a gamer. You understood. You know how much
You
that
throw
controllers
my
cost.
console against the wall. I'm throwing you out a window.
Oops.
Sometimes you just gotta walk away. I mean, I don't know. Don't tear up
He,
my stuff. We
he
gotta
could,
live here.
but he couldn't. At that point, he couldn't. I know he was intoxicated. I don't know if he had drugs in his system, but I know he was drunk because I could hear it in the way he was talking to his
He was
kids.
slurred. Hey,
Yeah,
DV, how's he going?
yeah. And he just wanted to sit down, and it was like 7:30 in the morning. I don't know where he had been all night, but that wasn't my concern. You already broke one of his controllers, and he ain't choked the life out of you. Then you threw his console, and he did choke the life out of you. I gotta leave because I'm not a witness to Jack at this point, and I'm not willing to help because that's not my business.
Seeing a lot of people looking at it, oh, you should have did something. Like what could you possibly do? So I'm pretty sure somebody was called in the police, but who somebody else heard it because I'm pretty sure it was loud.
Obviously, somebody did because the police passed me on the way out. I went and sat on the stairs, and they was on their way in, and I was like, "Y'all need access to us." Because somebody and he went to jail.
Well, yeah, she didn't assault him. She broke stuff in the house. She didn't put her hands on
Yeah,
him.
she just broke his stuff. She didn't assault him. He
That's the
went
way it
to
goes.
jail because
Wow.
he literally threw her across the room, and I was like, and
So
I don't condone beating or hurting anyone at all, but
so what? So we asked this before. What do you think is what happened to Diddy now? Because he said the statute of limitation was up for that video, so they couldn't charge him for that. He's done. He
I
might
don't
as well,
know, but I saw his apology, and there's like no even eye watering. I'm not asking you to cry, but man, there just didn't seem to be really any feeling.
I didn't even watch. I seen the apology a bunch. I didn't even watch. I didn't want to hear. I didn't even want to hear what he had to say.
he
Yeah.
didn't even look sad, Marcy. He was trying to, like
Yep.
some acting person
Yep.
told him how to try to look, and he didn't apologize to her
Nope.
at all.
Nope.
He never said, "I am sorry to you."
Never.
Whatever. It was her name,
Cassie.
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 Yep.
I'm sorry, Cassie. I should have never treated you. He never said that.
Nope.
So word is he's out hanging out with Russell Simmons now in a foreign country with no extradition.
Oh Lord, is
With
he
no
hanging
extradition.
out with him?
Where else could he go?
Where's Russell at? Like Tahiti or somewhere?
He's like in Bali or something,
Oh wow.
doing yoga every day.
Yep.
Because as
He's
soon
a
as those
yoga
charges
trainer.
started coming up, he got the fuck out the United States as fast as he could.
Yep. He hasn't had to like stand for any of that, has he?
I think he's waiting for the statute of limitations because it's been a while.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Why do people think they can be, because don't get me wrong, don't think I don't think it goes the other way. There are women that abuse men.
Right.
So I want to know what makes people think they have the right to do that.
Ego. He was a real millionaire. He thought he paid $50,000 to hide that tape. So there's no telling
So
what else he has hidden.
True.
So they think as long as I have money, I can do whatever I want.
I could put money on it and it'll go away. That's what he's thinking.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's no telling who else he didn't beat up on camera and pay for the tape and pay to, be quiet, tell everybody to be quiet. He's been doing it for years. You got to think he came up in the 90s. This is not something he started doing last year, a couple of years ago. He's been doing it since the 90s.
What
Plus,
about broke people?
yeah.
Bro, people go to jail.
If you don't have 50K to give, you're in a slammer.
Really? Because I don't think that's true.
Trust me, if
The
I went out
dude
and
that I told you that got arrested that morning, he was back home by that evening.
she probably bailed him out. So
Probably.
if I was to go outside and just beat up some random woman, I would be out of here.
No, but that's the difference. I don't think it's random women. I think
I know.
it's
I'm
when
not.
it's
I'm just saying. If I was to
domestic
do that,
violence.
I'm not gonna say I'm beat up my girlfriend. I'm never gonna beat up my girlfriend, so I'm not gonna say it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's when it's in that kind of a unit that it gets a different view than if you walk down whatever street you live on and just beat up some woman at the BP. I think the cases will be handled different.
I just know he's not gonna. His career is over. He's not gonna be able to put out any music or movies or anything. I mean, who's going to support him now?
He's just going to have to live off Christopher Wallace forever.
That's probably his plan anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's unfollow him, getting away from him. Meek Mill unfollowed him on Instagram and Twitter. That was his biggest supporter. So
Yep.
because everybody knows it. Like, and this is the thing that's kind of bogus because I'm pretty sure he's done that in front of people. I'm pretty sure he's done it in front of all of them, and they all stood by him. And Diddy's wild, Diddy wild for that. Now everybody else seems like, oh no, I don't justify that. You probably saw it because I've heard about people I know on the teammates who beat up their girlfriend, but I've never seen it. I lost respect for him, but I never seen it. I'm pretty sure if I seen it, I would like, yo, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like I said, just like when the Ray Rice stuff happened, he told everybody what happened. He said, I did it. It was, I was wrong for it. Everybody's like, okay, he got a 3-game suspension. But when the video got released and you actually saw him cock back and knock out his wife, everybody's like, oh, wait a minute.
Right.
We can't have this.
That was a big mess. A big mess.
Was that the elevator situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because before the video he got a 3-game suspension and everybody's moving on with it. Nobody was talking about it. Okay. But when you actually
knocked
see
her
it,
out in the elevator and drug her to the car.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
And I'm like, how would you not think you would be on camera? I think I'm on camera everywhere I go.
You pretty much are nowadays. You are nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s and early 2000s, no, you wasn't. Now we started to realize that it wasn't as much security as it was. But now, it's everywhere. Cameras are the size of a pin, so it's everywhere now. So
I remember seeing cameras. I was watching TV. It was like early 2000s, and they said how Germany has cameras on every street. And I remember thinking, wow, they don't trust the citizens. I can't believe they watch people like that. That's ridiculous. And now they're doing that shit here.
Well, and some, Chicago always got cameras everywhere, but they always surprisingly off or broken when stuff happens in front of them for some reason.
Wow.
Yeah, nobody ever sees anything go down.
Right. You go to Chicago, you see cameras everywhere, but all this crime happening, nobody knows nothing. Nothing is caught on camera. Like, how's that work?
That is kind of weird.
It's weird times. But Diddy's out of here. Are you still gonna listen to Diddy music?
I never did.
Me neither.
Never ever did.
I mean, I stopped listening to R. Kelly. I can stop listening to Diddy.
Yep.
You can skip the songs he had with Biggie. Just listen to regular Biggie songs.
Right.
You sounded sad about R. Kelly.
I was a little bit. I was like, yo. Because you it's hard to listen to it when you realize a lot of those songs was about little girls and it's kind of it's not. And you start to really listen to the lyrics, seems like you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Eesh.
Damn. I didn't know that was about younger people.
The fact he wrote a song about it for Aaliyah, AJ number the number, like whoa,
Oh yeah.
you're disgusting.
Yep.
He wrote "You Are Not Alone" for Michael Jackson, and supposedly he
Wow.
wrote that about a little girl who got an abortion.
Jesus.
Allegedly.
Wow.
So
I did not know that.
have you watched Surviving R. Kelly?
I never watched it.
I finally
Where did
broke
you
down.
see that? Netflix?
It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there or not. You probably have to rent it or something on someone. But after watching that, it's hard to go back and and a lot of people, man, that's just made up. It's not real. It's not real. It's got to be some truth to it. You don't have all this stuff going on, and it's got to be some truth to it. Do you still watch the Cosby Show?
No.
You know, my favorite show was Webster when I was younger. Oh my God, I loved that show.
Webster.
Little Webster. I used to watch that every
You ever watch Different Strokes?
Yes.
Are you a Gary Coleman fan?
Yeah, I loved it.
I would say something. My daughter's sitting right next to me, but I never told you my Gary Coleman story.
No.
I'm not gonna get into it because I don't like Gary Coleman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he kind of big time me when I was a little kid trying to get just a hello out of him, but
Oh, so he was rude.
Yeah, he was rude.
Oh, forget him then.
Or a lot of these celebrities were rude and abusive, and this. I mean, with everybody exposing everybody, it's gonna be. I wonder who's gonna be the next celebrity that we're gonna have to just move on from.
Well, I heard people are unfollowing The Rock in droves because they said that they asked a bunch of people, why are you unfollowing him? And they said, because every single one of his posts is an ad for Terramana whiskey, an ad for his water, an ad for some other shit he's got. And people are sick of seeing all the ads. They said he used to just be real, and now and they said anytime he's out in his truck or his Jeep and he meets up with people, it's always planned, and they're sick of it. And I was like, damn, I know I unfollowed him, and I thought, well, why did I unfollow him? And I thought, same reason, it just got old.
Yeah, buy my tequila.
Yep.
I'm pouring my tequila after I finish my workout.
Yeah,
like, really, that's what you really do?
He's showing you a cheat day where he's got a stack full of pancakes, and he's got all this food laid out, and then he's got his Terramana tequila right there. He's gonna drink that with it. You know you don't eat that way all the time. Come on.
I don't know. Has he ever been truly real though? I mean, let's be honest.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he signed on with these companies, not knowing how much advertising he would actually have to do.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
You think?
He's an actor. He's about his
that
money.
Gives more credence to my theory than yours.
No, he knows what it takes. He knows how to work the crowd. He knows how to work people. He's been doing it since the 90s, on WWE. He knows how to work a crowd, how to push the right buttons. He knows how to do it.
I agree. He has just become like a freaking Duracell bunny, like it just commercialized as hell. Like everything he does, it's not.
That's true because he's back on the WWE.
And he went on that to save it, supposedly because somebody, they said that somebody got hurt and couldn't perform on it, so he went back in there to help out. And now they're saying it's so popular what he's doing that people really want him to come back like full time because the guy that he is covering for, he's more popular now than that guy, and people really want him back in it. So that's what I heard.
Oh, somebody's arguing outside. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, but Yeah, The Rock. Well, he came back because he wanted to wrestle against his cousin in WrestleMania, the biggest match. But a lot of things changed. Is this? Hold on. Is something crazy going on? Don't stay
Oh, what's
looking.
going on?
They arguing outside. They just playing, but I don't know.
Oh,
Okay, but yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, has he ever been someone that like Kevin Hart's like that too? Everything's
really?
promo. Yes,
I never watched his Twitter or his IG. Is everything an ad?
everything's an ad. Everything's an ad. Every interview, he's plugging something. It might not sound if you listen closely, he's plugging something.
I remember way back in the days, when the Kardashians just got started and their IG was fun, their Twitters were fun, and quiet. And then it just became the same thing, ads for everything they're doing.
Like, oh, I'm trying out my new eyeliner. Check it out. You can buy it at such and such. That's all it is now. Kevin Hart, he's on doing an interview. He's like, you know what I really love? What's the vegan burgers?
Impossible.
Yeah, I really love Impossible Burgers. They, some of the best things. I started trying them. I can't get enough of them. Kind of find out he has a deal with them. So he's plugging. He tries to tell a story, but he's plugging shit. So
yeah,
my Twitter is still fun. So if you want to follow me, Ras_Mixx, follow me on Twitter. If you're watching this on Twitter, make sure you tap the screen, get those hearts pumping. I see all 266 of you watching from Twitter. Thank y'all for all the love.
yeah.
So, what is your final thoughts on Diddy?
She couldn't roll her eyes any harder.
Ever since I saw that video, I was like, wow, I was holding out hope that he's claiming that she was making it all up and just wanted money. And then when you see that, and then he couldn't even give her an apology like she said, that was really shitty.
Well, like I said, there's always been stories and people who didn't believe it because, oh, all he does is dances. Like, those are the worst kind. The people who always put the positive, like those people are the worst because you never know behind the scenes what they're doing.
Yep.
And he was involved in way too much. Like, he'd be in the most hood spots in the world, smiling, dancing, drinking. Like, yo, he must, like, he's not worried.
Yep.
That's why he's never fazed by the whole death row Suge Knight. He was never fazed by that because he knew.
Yep.
He was just as gangster as they was.
Yep. But he plays it off so well, like he's just a businessman,
Yeah, because that's a lot of gangster to play off against Suge Knight.
He'll hang you over a balcony.
Listen, I seen Suge Knight in person. I jumped like, oh God, oh shit. It's the boogeyman.
How tall is he?
I saw him in.
He's about my height. He's about 6'4", 6'5".
Walk away quickly that way.
Because I was like, dog, that's a big dude like Suge Knight. And I looked again, like, it's Suge Knight. And a big ass flannel just standing there by himself.
I saw a Storage Wars. I don't know if you saw the one with Suge Knight's all his clothing.
Really?
Yeah, they opened up my fucking dogs drive me crazy, but they opened up a unit and it had all Suge Knight's clothing and a bunch of his shit.
Wow, I'm going to look that up. I'm going to find it on YouTube. I got to find that. I got to check that one out. Well, his
outfits were really like what do you call that? Flamboyant. They were really cool. You could tell they were his.
Yeah, it was all red.
Yeah, they were dope.
I'm definitely gonna look that up on YouTube. But it's about that time because you are Marcy Diamond. You can find Jera at Twitter at Marcy Diamond 2. Why is it 2? Because it's her second Twitter. They banned the first one. You can also find her on TikTok at Marcy Diamond 1. Her website www.pog.life, one of the best ones out. We also have Kinshok. Make sure Kinshok. Is there a social media you actually use that we can send out, or just keep sending to Twitter? Follow Kinshok on Twitter at Kinshok29. I am. Oh, that's the wrong one. Mine's is gone. Well, I am Ras Mixx. You can find me at all social media, Ras_Mixx. That's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. Follow me, subscribe, keep supporting. I thank y'all for our love. We love y'all for all supporting us, keeping us going. Excuse me. Any last words before we shut down for the week?
Nope.
Again, thanks again, everybody, for watching. We love y'all, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.